Okay, so everyone find yourself in a tall, supported feeling seat. Whatever that looks like doesn't really matter. If you're in a chair, I would recommend not crossing at the ankles or the knees, maybe trying to have the feet flat on the ground or even on blocks if the ground feels like it's kind of too far away from you. If you're in on the floor, blocks are a great option if it feels like you can't really scoop your tail back behind you or like your low back is working too hard. You can sit on your feet or on your heels, sit on a block, sit on a book, whatever. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears a couple times. Give your head and your neck a little bit of extra space to lift up and out of the spine. So next time your shoulders are down, keep them down. Really gentle pinch of the shoulders behind you. Keep your elbows bent and rest your hands on your lap or the floor next to you or the arms of a chair, whatever. Good. Push into whatever's touching the ground. Scoop your belly organs in and up about 10%. Fine to have your hands down or to rest your hands on your body somewhere. And let your gaze go forward and slightly down. You might even imagine tucking your chin down and back like you're pressing your head into a wall behind you to find even more length. And search for that sensation, maybe starting in the chest or around the belly button. Look for the sensation moving down and moving up. One long spine, head is stacked on top, all the way from your tail to your crown, and then beyond, through the chair, through the floor, and out of the top of the head, through the ceiling to make one big long line. Lock your attention at something that's not going to move ahead of you, and then soften the muscles around your eyes. Lower your eyelids halfway or even all the way. Smooth out your forehead. Relax the skin around your ears, even. Relax your jaw. You might swallow, let the tongue fall off the roof of your mouth and come into the bottom part of your mouth. You can coat your tongue in saliva, let your teeth and your lips part slightly. These are all tiny little micro adjustments that you can make that signal into the body, into the nervous system, hey, it's okay, you're safe, and we can start approaching a more meditative state of mind. See if you can find relative stillness, but keep in mind that little adjustments are always okay if you're in pain or uncomfortable. Those are distractions that we should avoid. And mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. And we'll start with grounding and centering as usual. So start to become aware of everything that you can see in your field of vision, even if your eyes are shut. Notice generalities like shapes and colors. You don't have to label all the objects. And notice the sources of lights and shadows. Notice where the windows and doors are in relation to your body. Notice where the other people or objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the room besides my voice. Notice the noises just around your own personal space. Notice your little personal bubble, just you and your chair or your mat. Get a sense of what's immediately behind you and to the sides of your body and immediately in front of you. Notice where air touches your skin versus where your clothing is covering your skin. Notice the heaviness of your body on your seat. See if you can get 1% heavier. And also stay tall through the spine. Bring attention and awareness to your breathing body. And don't change your breath, just notice it first. Does it feel kind of smooth or kind of choppy today? Is it quick or slow? Does it feel easy or more labored? And then if you choose, you could start to engage with your breath with a little more intention. So maybe start to draw your breath in lower and deeper into your belly than you normally do. And as you exhale, let the air escape half a beat or a beat longer, preferably through the nose. But if you're stuffy or that doesn't feel accessible, that's fine. Act like you're blowing out of your mouth through a straw to let the air come out slower. And do that for a few rounds. Inhaling low, you might imagine the belly like a balloon. Feel it expand in every direction. And then as you exhale, the balloon contracts back to the center. Couple rounds like that. Finish the round that you're on. And then return back to your natural passive style of breathing. And notice anything that's changed so far. Good. Inhale your eyes more open if you haven't already. You might look around the room again. The lights might seem a little different. That's normal. And then if you're in a chair, scoot forward towards the edge of your seat so that you have more room for the movement portion of class. But as usual, everything's optional. If you just want to stay seated or lay down and breathe, that practice can be really beneficial, especially if you're feeling extra tired or overwhelmed. You can always come back to the breath, and you can always choose to come there anytime during class. I'm not going to stop you. So let's start with 6 spinal actions. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. Stay tall, just doing that. Reaching down through the tail without tucking the tail. The tail should be coming out behind you. So remember, if your pelvis is a bowl, the water is spilling out of the front a little bit instead of the back. But lifting the back ribs up off the hips, lifting the rib cage up away from the lower body, shoulders stay down, reaching through the crown of your head with your chin tucked slightly down and back. So that's axial extension, really, really long. Good. Let your hands come down so that they're kind of dangling out of your shoulder sockets. And next time you breathe in, reach your arms around and up. They might touch at the top. Some bodies like to look up as well. On your exhale, simply let the arms come down by your sides again. Follow this pattern, dynamic breathing. So inhale, reach around and up. And exhale, around and down. You can look down when you get to the bottom if you want. Good. Keep pushing into your foundation. Keep reaching through the crown of your skull. Keep moving with your breath and see if you can match up your movement with the breathing. So don't reach the bottom until your lungs are super empty, and then don't reach the top again until your lungs are super full. That means you don't need to worry about how fast I'm going or your neighbor's going because we're all going to be breathing at a different pace. Couple more like that, just matching everything up. Maybe as you continue, you imagine really stretching and reaching in every moment of that big circle you're tracing. So even when your arms are all the way down, reach through the fingertips. Every second along the circle, you're reaching and stretching through the fingertips and past the fingertips. Good. Next time you breathe in and reach up, keep your arms lifted. Exhale, lower only the left arm. Inhale, push into your feet and your seat. Exhale, lean over towards the left. Keep your hips and your feet glued down and focus on making a big arched shape, a big C shape on the right side of the rib cage. You can take the arm out of the equation by bringing it behind your back, the small of your back, but you're still opening the chest to the front and reaching up and around, up and around, up and around. Good. One more really big breath here. Push into your feet and your seat. Inhale, come all the way back to the center, both arms lifted. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, reach the arms apart. Get long. Before you exhale, lean over towards the right. Keep your hips and your feet glued down. Imagine reaching around, not just straight over, but up and around to create that big curved feeling in the side of the rib cage. Try to relax your face and your eyebrows, unclench your jaw. You can look forward or down. Just take another deep breath wherever you landed. When you're ready, inhale all the way back to the center, both arms lift. Exhale, twist to the left. So arm comes down to a T shape and you twist. Squeeze through the center of the body. And remember, you want the arms to come straight out of the center of the chest. So try to resist the urge to reach your arms further back behind you just to pull you further over. Stay here, still looking for length even as you're twisted. Each time you exhale, squeeze through the belly. Maybe for the last round of breath, you look over your back fingertips. Inhale, around and up, all the way back to the center, both arms lift. Exhale, twist to the other side. Arms coming straight out of the chest. You can always put your fingertips at the center of the heart and then open your arms like wings. See if they're in the same place that they were before. Maybe it'll surprise you. If your shoulders are fatigued or injured, you can always bend the elbows and act like you're holding platters to lower the shoulders down away from the arms. Even if your arms are long, keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Reach through the crown of your head. Last breath here, really squeeze through the belly. Good. Inhale all the way back to the center. Reach up, maybe you look up. Exhale, fold forward. So place your belly and your chest onto your thighs or over your lap. Arms can touch the ground. You can put your elbows on your knees and hold your head. Bend your knees more or less, depending on how it feels in the low back and the backs of the legs. If you're folded pretty far over, option to let the head get super heavy and dangle like a bowling ball in a string, super heavy. Shake your head yes a little bit. Shake your head no a little bit. Good. We're going to come all the way up. So next time you inhale, come all the way to a tall spine. Reach from your tail to your crown all the way through your fingertips up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands back down. Good. Let's do a little bit for the shoulders. So everyone grab your strap. Open it up so it's super long. And grab the strap with both hands so that your hands are kind of probably wider than shoulder distance. For me, that changes too, so don't power grip it, leave it a little bit loose so you can slide your hands wider if you need to, because I do, so I'm imagining you do too. Okay, so arms are out ahead of you, lowered down. Next time you breathe in, again, just reach up overhead and keep hold of the strap. And then exhale, bend your elbows a little or a lot and hold. Now create a little bit of a pinch of the shoulders behind you. Keep your head on top of your spine. So a lot of us tend to type and read and play on our phones and computers, so the head comes forward. Imagine the chin down and back just a millimeter more. Pull the hands apart from each other without letting them slip apart. So you might instantly notice a little bit of shaking and heat. That's normal. But if you get something super wild or super painful, you need to back out a little bit. Stay for another breath. And then push into your feet and your seat. Inhale, lift your arms all the way back up. And exhale, lower them down in front of you. Good. Let's do opposite elbows apart. So inhale, reach your arms around and up. Exhale, lower your left arm and just let go of the strap. And I'm going to turn around so you can see behind me because all the action is back behind your spine here. So the strap is dangling. Right arm is up. Left hand is free. Reach your left hand out to the side. Bend your elbow. And then place that hand at the small of your back or near your back pocket. You could stay here. You could grab the strap. And then you can floss, just like you're flossing your teeth. Bending one elbow and straightening the other. Imagining that you're reaching the elbows in opposite directions. So when the right elbow is lifted, you're really squeezing it up towards your ear and towards the sky. And then when your left elbow is bent, you're really squeezing it down towards your hip and the floor. Stay here or start to shorten the distance between the hands by inching the fingertips closer together, still pulling on the strap for a little bit of leverage. Pull your belly organs in and up, push into your seat so you're not creating too big of a crazy back bend to help you get there. Some bodies can touch the fingertips. Some bodies can hook the fingertips together. It doesn't really matter where you land. Just imagine reaching the elbows in opposite directions. So right elbow's reaching up and squeezing up towards the head and the ceiling. Left elbow is squeezing towards the body and down towards the floor. Stay for 2 more breaths. Smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw, notice the stories, and then let the judgment go and just notice sensation. Where do you feel it the most? How is it moving or changing over time? Good. When you're done, simply release. Let the strap come off to the side, but keep it nearby. Elbows are coming neutrally out of the shoulder sockets. Notice what's left over. Good. And then we'll do the other side. So this time the left arm is going to be up and the right arm is going to be down. Grab both sides of the strap with your hands. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. And then this time, right arm lets go and the strap comes back behind you. Good. Bend your left elbow this time so the elbow starts to move up towards the sky. And remember, you're not pushing or leaning over towards the arm. The object is to keep the spine super long and neutral and create more mobility and strength within the shoulder itself. Good. So maybe you just stay here. That's fine. Working on reaching the elbow up and away. Maybe the right arm comes out to the side, bend your elbow, and then slide that hand to your back pocket or behind the low back. You could stay here. You could grab the strap that's dangling. You could floss, just like between the teeth. You could start to bring the fingertips closer together by squeezing the strap and then inching a little bit of fabric at a time. Some bodies can let their fingertips touch. Some can hook their fingertips together. But in lieu of that, which is rare, we're using the strap to help connect the arms. It's called a bind, a banda. So now imagine the elbows reaching in opposite directions of each other. So the left elbow keeps reaching out and up, out and up, out and up. And keep in mind, you don't want to push your head forward. So you want to start positioning your hand so you're giving yourself a pat on the back. The hand is coming further down towards the shoulder and between the shoulder blades instead of just behind the head. Keep your face as smooth as you can. Stay for 2 more rounds of breath wherever you landed, just noticing the difference. Good. When you're done, be done. Simply let the arms come down out of their sockets. Release the strap for a moment. You don't need it. Before you indulge in the urge to shake it off, maybe stay and notice for another breath. See what's left over. Notice your shesha. And then if you want to wiggle or roll your shoulders, be my guest. I know it can create a lot of tension and heat and leftover sensations. Good. Okay. If you're going to come to hands and knees, now's a good time. If you're going to stay in your chair, that's fine, but scoot towards the edge of your seat so you have a lot of room. We're going to do cat and cow, a little bit of cross-body balancing motion before we come to stand, if that helps you decide if you're going to get down on the floor or stay in the seat. Good. And no matter where you landed, look for a neutral, supportive position, okay? So just without changing anything right now or adjusting, just notice how you kind of instinctually came to your position. Notice the position of the head and neck, notice the shoulders, notice the weight in whatever's touching down on the ground. Is it even between the feet and the hands and the left and the right side, or is it kind of catty corner or leaning towards one limb or the other? Just notice. Okay. And then if you're on the floor, untuck your toes so your shoelaces would be pressing into the ground. Press your feet into the floor. Press your shins into the floor. Press your hands into the floor, or if you're seated, press your hands into the upper thighs really actively, like you're pushing away. Good. Try not to sink into the shoulders. Lift up out of the shoulders. Yes, really good adjustment. Bring the chin down and back so you get longer between the back. Yes. Let your gaze soften. So you're looking straight down ahead of you instead of forward. Pull your belly organs gently in and up towards your spine. And now stay and notice. How does that feel different? Where are you working more? Where are you working less? Good. Next time you breathe in, reach your heart forward. Gaze can go forward and up. Lift your eyebrows, maybe your eyeballs, maybe your whole face tilts up. On your exhale, round your shoulders. Really, really pull the shoulders and the heart back behind you. Straighten your arms and push into the arms to assist. Back and forth. Inhaling, belly forward, chest forward, gaze forward and up. Squeeze the muscles between your shoulders and your hips. Exhale, round like a black cat on Halloween. Round your shoulders more than you tuck your tail and make it as big as you can. Now go back and forth at your own pace. Again, matching up your movement with your breathing. So don't get to the very end of your cow pose until your lungs are super, super full. And don't get to the very end of your cat pose until your lungs are super, super empty. You can even exaggerate that by staying for a breath or two in one position or the other. Notice if your body likes to move faster or slower than your breath. That's normal. We're trying to even them out, but if you can't do that right now, it doesn't mean anything about you as a person. So take it a little less seriously. Just explore sensation and breathe. Good. And then when you're ready, transition into a child's pose or wisdom pose. So that could be knees together or knees apart. Shift your hips back towards your feet. They don't have to touch. And then shift your chest and your head and your arms forward. Now, some people like to keep the arms long. They like to push into the fingertips, lift the palms like there's a cupcake under your hands. And then squeeze the shoulders back behind you. So it's almost like a down dog. You're reaching really long from the fingertips to the tail. Some people like to lower the forearms and the forehead onto the floor. Some people like to bring their arms back behind them so the tops of your hands are resting by your hips on the ground. Find a version that feels truly restful to you, where you're not working hard to stay in that body shape. And then breathe. And notice as you compress the front of your body this way, that it might drive sensation of breath more into the back and the sides of your body. So imagine that you're breathing only into the sides of the ribs and under your armpits. Take a really big breath there. And next time you breathe in, imagine you only breathe into the back part of your lungs and the hips. You might even feel like you lift up a little higher, and then exhale. Watch yourself sink. Good. Do 2 more breaths like that in your least favorite location. So either in the sides of the ribs and the armpits or into the back and the hips. And just notice why and where that is. Next time you breathe in, lift your gaze forward again. Maybe change the position of your arms so you can more easily bring yourself back up to a neutral spine on hands and feet, or knees, excuse me. Good. Since you're all there, I'm going to transition so I can demonstrate better what we're going to do next. So a little bit of a balancing, challenging pose here with crossbody. We've done this before. So crossbody means we're going to do opposite limbs to challenge the brain a little bit more. So everyone identify your right hand and identify your left foot, so opposite sides. And once you have it in your mind, once again, set yourself up for success. So push into everything that's touching down, lift your belly organs in and up. Lift the chin down and back so your head comes more in line with the rest of your spine. And then try not to move anything except your hand. Next time you inhale, reach your right hand forward and put your fingertips down on the floor. Just stay there. Good. Next time you breathe in, move nothing except the left foot, reach it back behind you, and put your toes down. Maybe you stay. Keep creating length through the spine. Keep bringing the belly organs in and up. Keep pushing into whatever's touching the floor. Or next time you breathe in, you could lift the left foot back behind you up to hip height. You could bring the right hand up away from the floor, up to shoulder height, but not above. Keep reaching in opposite directions no matter what you chose. Stay for 3, 2, 1. Carefully bring everything back down to the ground if it was lifted, and then bring everything back underneath you for a tabletop. You can do a cat-cow in between if you wish. You could do a child's pose in between if you wish. You could do nothing. And then meet me in neutral, and we'll do that on the other side. So this time, identify your left fingers and your right toes, opposite sides. And then before you move, your best tabletop. So push into your hands, lift up off of the shoulders, chin down and back, belly organs in and up. And then, without moving anything else, the left fingertips move forward. Stay, or right toes reach out. Push through the heel, push your feet down into the ground, both of them. Maybe you stay, or you lift one or the other limb. You can hover. I forgot to mention, you could pulse too. If you're building strength and balance here, you could slowly and with control lift everything up and then set it back down, and then up and then down. No matter what you're doing, still your face and breathe as deeply as you can for 3, 2, 1. Bring everything back down to touch the floor. Then, as gracefully as you can, bring your limbs back underneath you and do around a cat-cow or a child's pose. Breathe deeply. And then meet me back in neutral. Good. We're going to flip over onto the back side. So however you want to get there is fine. You could sit, you could let your hands come forward, and you could lower down onto your belly and then roll over, however you want. Get your chair out of your way, get your gear out of your way, but keep everything nearby in case we want to use it. Onto the booty and the backside. And for a moment, stop doing yoga. Don't hold your body any certain way. Don't breathe any certain way. Don't think any certain way. Just notice the changing relationship with gravity here. Notice the lights again. Notice the sounds again. And then allow that shift in awareness. Come back into your different style of attention that you bring to a yoga class. Ardha drishti, half attention, half on the body and half on the breath. Smooth out your forehead again. Lower your eyelids halfway or all the way. Shoulders away from the ears. Noticing the pressure of your body on the floor. One more time, get 1% heavier in all the places where you feel your body touching the mat underneath you. Good. Okay. If you haven't already, bend both of your knees and put your feet on the ground. Identify your right leg and bring your right knee back for a hug. Now, you could use your strap on top of the knee to help pull it down. You could grab onto your pants. You could grab the knee. Some bodies interlace the fingers. Do what you have to do. Use the strength of your hands more than you do the neck and the shoulders. So as best you can, consciously relax the muscles of the neck and the upper shoulders and use the strength of your hands to squeeze the knee down towards your belly. If that doesn't feel good, you always have the option to bring the knee more out at an angle towards your armpit instead. Hips are back, shoulders are back, head is back, everything's heavy. And maybe you start to roll your right ankle. If you do, go one direction first and then the other direction. If your left knee is still bent, explore lengthening a little bit or a lot of it through the left leg. Flex through the foot, push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your left shin. And then point your left toes. And then relax the foot. One last squeeze here. Really pull the leg in towards the torso. And then switch. So put your right foot down, bring your left knee back. Use your strap or your hands or grab your pants, whatever you have to do. Maybe roll the ankle on this side if you tried it on the other side. One direction first, and then the other direction. Maybe you elongate through the right leg. A little or a lotta. Flex the ankle, push through the heel, pull the toes back. And then point through the toes, see if that changes anything. Both hips and both shoulders and your head are all back on the floor. Relax your neck even more. Squeeze your leg in even more. One more big breath here. And then when you inhale, release your left foot down onto the ground and make your legs look the same. So if they're both long, that's fine. Or if you want to bend both of them, that's fine. But a symmetry is what we're going for here. Notice anything left over from that feeling of compression to now the feeling of relaxation. Good. And then bring both knees back for a hug at the same time, using the strap or your hands. So one option is to have the hips and the shoulders and the head all down, or you could curl yourself up like a roly-poly and reach the center of your eyebrows towards the center of your knees and get as tight into like a little ball as you can. Keep breathing. It doesn't have to be deep, but keep the air moving in and out. One more breath here. And then when you inhale next time, unravel, let the feet come back down to the floor, shoulders and head are back. Big breath in and out. Notice what's left over. Good. Everyone grab your strap, please. If you don't have one, give me a little wave. I'll bring you one. Good. And identify your right leg. Bring your right knee back for a hug. And get the strap, the middle-ish, it doesn't have to be perfect, under the ball of your right foot. And be careful, make sure it's not too far up on the toes because it'll slip back towards you. You really want to be able to have a good grip there. Then to any extent, start to extend your right leg out ahead of you so the leg gets longer. Don't straighten it all the way, even if you can. I want that micro bend to protect the knee. Anytime we're lengthening the back of the leg, we need to be strengthening the front of the leg. Make sense? So equal and opposite actions. I like to take the strap and like wrap it around both of my hands too, so I feel like I have an extra good support there and I don't have to rely on my grip strength so much. Relax your jaw and your forehead and your neck and your shoulders. Trust the relationship between your foot and your hands now. To any extent, keep lengthening through the leg. If you want more sensation, keep pushing through the heel and pull your toes back towards your body and or lift the leg higher up towards the sky. So you're shortening the distance between your torso and your thigh. If you want less sensation, you simply bend the knee more or let the leg come further away from the torso, so closer to the ground. This is one of those tricky yoga practices that can be more mental than physical. So you want to find a spot where you don't feel everything, but you don't feel nothing. It's not torture and it's not boring. It's something in between. That gray area can be really hard to find and it can be hard to relax into, but that's part of the practice. So see if you can find that place where maybe it's uncomfortable, but it's not unbearable. And then you use your yoga tools to relax your nervous system in that space. So smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw, breathe bigger into the belly, exhale a little bit longer than you normally do, and then rinse and repeat. A little bit of shaking is normal. Maybe building heat somewhere is normal. Push into the big toe mound, see how that changes things. Push into the pinky toe side of your foot. And then come back to neutral. Good. Now gather both straps just into the right hand, so the same side. To any extent with the knee bent or straight, open your right leg out to the right. A little or a lotta. Keep both hips on the ground. I even like to put my left hand on my left hip to help encourage it to stay down. Soft face. Breath is moving. Next time you breathe in, lift your leg back to the center. And then switch hands. So now you're only hanging on with the left hand, opposite side. At first, bring your right foot across the midline of your body towards the left, but only by like an inch. Notice where you feel it the most and keep breathing. It doesn't have to feel good. Just notice where it is and how it's moving or changing as you stay and breathe. And then you could stay exactly where you are, or You could let the leg come way over to the left. You could let the right hip come up off the ground, so you're twisting. If you're twisting, imagine both shoulders down on the ground. You could reach your right arm away. You could look at your right fingertips. If you're twisting through the neck, if you're looking towards your right fingertips, bring your head back to neutral first. And then before you bring your leg up, pull your belly organs in and up, press everything that's touching the ground into the ground, and then inhale, let your core help the leg lift all the way up back to the middle. Good. Last thing, remove the strap, but keep your leg where it is. And then as slowly as you can manage, lower your leg back down to the ground, 1 millimeter, 1 inch at a time. Slow, slow, slow. Notice where it's easy, notice where it starts to get difficult, and try not to speed through those parts. That's how we're going to build muscle and strength. Keep pushing through the heel, keep drawing your toes back towards your body. Belly organs in and up, push your low back into the floor. Notice how that changes things. Breathing and noticing. When your leg does touch the ground, release all the muscles in the right leg all at the same time. Notice what's left over. Notice your shesha. It's normal to feel a temperature difference. It's normal to feel pulsing or tingling. It's normal for the leg to feel longer than the other one. It happens to me every time. One more big breath here. Good. Now we're going to do all of that on the other side. So bend both of your knees again and bring your left knee back for a hug. Get your strap under the ball of your left foot. Maybe you wrap the strap around your hands so you have a really good grip. Optional to keep the right knee bent or to elongate that. And then to any degree, elongate through the left leg. But remember, even if you can get super, super long and straight, I want you to engage in a micro bend. I might not see it, but you'll feel it. So you're squeezing the muscles in the top of the front of the leg. That's why we push through the heel and drag the toes back towards the body as well. It's okay to shift and move and explore here. Just keep breathing. Maybe you elongate the right leg if you haven't already and push through the heel. Pull your toes back towards your body so they match. And then maybe you point your right toes. And then back to neutral. Relax the right foot. Find that place in the left leg where it's not nothing and it's not everything. It's something in between. And then relax your face, unclench your jaw, breathe deeper and smoother, even if you're uncomfortable. You can always adjust with wisdom by bending the knee or straightening more, or lowering and lifting the leg. Part of our practice in yoga is to train our bodies and our minds to be more resilient and comfortable even when we are uncomfortable. It's one of those paradoxes that makes yogis so infuriating and delightful. Good. Okay, grab both sides of the strap just in the left hand. Same side first. Both shoulders are glued down, both hips are glued down with your knee long or bent on the left side to any degree. Open your leg open to the left. It could be a little, it could be a lot. This side could be really different than the other side. That's normal. We're not trying to make the two sides mirror each other and be perfect pairs. We're just doing the same practice on each side. One more breath here. And then inhale, lift your leg all the way back up. And switch hands. So now you're grabbing with the opposite hand, the right hand and the left foot. Inhale, push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body. Exhale, just an inch, bring your foot over towards the right. And notice. Oh boy. Option to stay or to twist way more. You could bring your foot as far over to the right as you wish now. Let your hip come off the ground if it wants to. Reach both shoulders down onto the ground. Maybe you reach your left fingertips away from your body. Maybe you look away from your body towards the left. Take another deep breath here. And then if your head is twisted, looking at the left, inhale, bring your head back to the center first. Push whatever's touching the ground into the ground. Pull your belly organs in and up, and then inhale, lift the leg back to neutral. Good. Let the strap fall away. And as slowly as you can manage with control and grace, lower your leg one little piece at a time. Take your time. Brace through your core. Push your low back into the ground. See if that helps. Relax your face. Your eyebrows can't help. Keep breathing. Keep noticing. And then when your leg does touch the ground, release all the muscles in your leg all at the same time. Notice what's left over. Good. For the last 60 seconds of class, yogi's choice. You do what you want. I would encourage you, though, to end class with something symmetrical, the same on each side. Maybe both legs come back, so you hug your knees. Maybe you keep your feet together, but you open your knees out to the sides like a diamond shape. Maybe you do happy baby. Knees back towards your armpits, hanging onto the pinky side toe of your feet. Maybe you do none of those. That's good too. Whatever you chose, move mindfully. Breathe deeply and notice. If you're moving, start to lessen that more and more until you are still again. Maybe you put your feet on the ground. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to lengthen through your legs, unless you have low back pain. And then it might be even more beneficial to keep the knees bent and put the feet on the floor and widen the feet to wider than your hips or even as wide as your mat so the knees can fall in towards the center. One more time, roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Let your neck be long and your head be heavy. Arms out by your sides, maybe with the palms up. Or you might put one palm on the belly, one palm on your chest to rest your hands on your breathing body. You can do something I didn't mention. Pick a spot ahead of you where you can stare, or you can soften your gaze halfway or all the way. Don't hold your feet any certain way. Don't hold your belly tight anymore. Stop doing yoga. Let your body rest. And for the sake of time, we'll skip the body scan meditation. And instead, we'll focus on a breath awareness meditation. So for the next 60 seconds of quiet, simply use your breath as an anchor for attention. Watch your breath come in and out of your body. Noticing quickly and efficiently when you become distracted and bringing your attention back to your breath over and over. I'll tell you when the minute is halfway over and when it is completely over. Starting now. Halfway. Good. Release your awareness. Notice your whole body together again. Notice the weight of your body on the floor. Carefully start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up. And then eventually we'll meet in a seat, and I'd encourage you to notice in your mind the way that you would get up and try to get up the opposite direction or a different way than normal. But take your time. And when you come to a seat, you're looking for length. So it doesn't really matter what your legs are doing or what they look like. Reach through the tail and reach through the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders down and away one more time. I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest, or you can stack your hands there, whatever feels more comfortable. And look down or bow down towards your heart and your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for carving out the time and showing up. Everything else was just a bonus. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. As you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you so much for coming, and I apologize. I think in the middle of class I said, we're going to do this and then we're going to stand, and then I did not fulfill that contract. So I apologize, but I had an idea and I had to run with it. So I'm gonna stop the recording. You can let me know if you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did. You're welcome.